Okay, so here's our program for basic motion of the robot. Last time we got it to go forward, backwards, left, right, and stop. But it took off going pretty fast. It was like doing wheelies, and to take a little more control over the robot, we want to slow it down a bit. So a way to do that, instead of just giving a digital right pin command, we can use this other command called an analog right pin command. And what this command will do is send a pulse width modulated signal to the output pin, basically turning the pin on and off quickly, which results in giving that pin a fraction of full power. So if it's on just for a very short amount of time and then off for a longer period in the duty cycle, then it'll be lower voltage, and if it's on for a longer part and off for a shorter duration of time, then it's closer to being full power. So in our case, I'm going to change this number to, say, 350 out of 1024, so that's less than half power, and I'm going to see how the robot does with that amount of power instead of being full strength. So everywhere in my code there's a digital right pin with a 1 showing that it's on. I'm basically going to replace it with one of these commands. Looks like I'll need 8 of those. And I'm going to put those in right now. All right, so I've got a couple extras maybe. Okay, so let's see here. I'm using it on pin 13 and 16. So I'm going to make this one a pin 13, this one a pin 16, and I'll just put it right next to the 13, right next to the 16, and then I'll delete those old blocks. And that's how I want it to look now. So it should turn on but not be quite as fast. On the next one here, I'm going to use pin 15 and pin 13. And I'll put it right in place here. Pin 15. Pin 13, and then I'm going to delete the old blocks. And then on the forward one, we're using pin 14 and 15, so I'll make this one a 14, and this one a 15. And then same thing, I'm going to put it right next to the block, and I'll delete the old blocks. Okay, and I thought, oh yeah, I do have extra ones. So let's throw that one away. And on the last one, I'm using pins 16 and 14 here. So I'll change these pins to 16 and 14. So there's pin 16, pin 14, and then I'll delete the blocks I don't need. All right, so now I should have a robot that follows the same commands as before, but hopefully with a little bit less power. That'll give us a little bit more control, and it will save batteries as well. So I'm going to download this program. I'm going to call it Basic Motion D. And it's downloading. I'm going to show in folder. And now I'll just drag that program over and drop it on the Microbit. And right now it's loading up. And then we're going to do a little test. And I'm going to do that right now. So I've just programmed the Microbit on the robot, putting in the batteries. You can see the power lights come on. I accidentally left the Microbit plugged into its battery, so it's actually all ready to go. And now, we're gonna take a look and see how this little robot does. Okay, not much of a runway space here. All right, so there's a bug. When I hit button A, it should have went forward and then backward. But there's a problem in my code here. I didn't replace one of the pins. Here, this one should have been an analog write also. So one side was underpowered, I guess. I want this to be a 14. And I'll make the other 14 go away. Okay, we're going to program it again. Hopefully we got rid of all our mistakes. Okay, downloading again. Show in folder. I'll reprogram the Microbit. All right, I think the program's done. So batteries are still plugged in. All right, I'm gonna hit button A. Okay, so that was pretty slow. It was not nearly as out of control. Maybe even a little too slow. Maybe I want my robot to have a little more oomph than that. And barely moved at all here. So what I'm going to do is in the next program, I'm going to write some code to make it easy for us to experiment with changing the parameters of that analog write command, and then we can change it. Instead of 350, we can give it 400, 500, 600, and see what it does. So I'm going to do that in the next video, and I will see you there.